When we write a love story, we do this funny thing where we pretend we are unaware of how it may end.
The happily ever after.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Doesn't exist?
Oh no, in the movies it does.
Okay.
Because it's a figment of somebody's imagination.
Right.
And that when you marry, it's all gonna be nice, breezy, and easy. The hard work starts.
Yeah.
When the hips are so good, the red flags appear purple.
We misunderstand what I love you means.
Any married couples will tell you sometimes they wake up and they don't have that loving feeling.
Yeah.
But I am just going to love you and we are stuck together.
Yeah.
That's why there's a very high rate of divorce because of the unreasonable or crazy expectations. First and foremost, some people get into marriage thinking that, man, every time I want to have some sex, I will have it.
Right.
You understand? And after a few months, it's just done out of duty.
I see.
But you didn't expect it to be like that. You understand? You'd be like, no, I was told, like in the movies, it's in the kitchen.
Right.
It's in the lobby.
Right.
It's in the bedroom. It's in the morning just before you go to work.
Right.
But that morning you're not even talking.
Right.
You understand? And to feel like, oh, I'm gonna have a slave. Like now I'll never iron a shirt.
Right.
Somebody's gonna do it for me.
Yeah.
And then some people say, okay, now this is the end of me paying bills. Somebody else is gonna do that. But then you get to a place that you're told, okay, fine, you have 4 children. Kids close school for 10 days. You need school fees again.
Yeah.
And the landlord is with you. So please come, let's put our money together.
Yeah.
But that's not what I was told.
Right.
I was told when I get married, my money is mine. And then the man is like, oh, no.
That's not how
put
this
our heads
works.
together.
The unrequited, the silent, the believers, the chasers, the build, the release, the gasps and whispers in between, all to end up in death or worse.
I read somewhere
that if you accept life, then you must accept death.
Fly, my friend, fly, my friend. Goodbye, my friend. Fly, my friend, fly, my friend. Goodbye, my friend. Oh, fly, my friend. Oh, goodbye, my friend. Oh, fly, my friend. Oh, goodbye, my friend. Firi salama, salimu maulana, tutaonana baadaye. Oh, safiri salama, salimu maulana, tutaonana baadaye. Ndio tutaonana baadaye. Oh, nakama mpendwa, tabasamu, tutaonana baadaye. Oh, nakama mpendwa, tabasamu, tutaonana baadaye. Na ndio tutaonana baadaye. Pendo tabasamu, tutaonana baadaye.
Hiyo asubuhi nilipoamka, mimi nilikuwa nashughulika na shughuli za nyumba za kawaida. Nikatoka nje kumwaga uchafu, ndio kuangalia upande on my left, ndio nikakutana na mwili wake kwenye mti. Hapo ndio nilishtuka, nikaitana wenye alikuwa amelala, wakaamka wakanitia nguvu, then wengine majirani wakakuja.
Sijui kufika kama sijui saa 7 hivi ya usiku, ndugu yake alikuwa ameshikwa na usingizi sana, ndio mtoto wangu akaamuka polepole, akaja akapanda hapa kwa huo muti, na alikuwa amefunga necktie, hiyo ilikatika, akatoka kwa muti akaanguka chini. Na sasa hiyo necktie ilikuwa fupi, akatoa msipi wa longi yake akakifunga, akapanda juu, akafunga msipi vizuri, kafunga hapa vizuri, na sasa ndio release himself with that heavy weight. Ndio maisha sasa lazima ndio ikamtoka.
Police in Kisii are holding a middle-aged man for the murder of a Kisii Polytechnic student described as his ex-girlfriend. Stephen Orengo is said to have trailed Lucy back to her home and murdered her over what neighbors and friends of the female student described as a love gone sour. Crispin Otieno with the details.
Residents of Jogo village within Kisii Township were witnesses to a Thursday night horror. The murder of a 22-year-old first-year Kisii Polytechnic student Lucy Boke. The suspect, Stephen Orengo, traveled from his home in Kuria West, where he is on industrial attachment, to Kisii's Jogoo estate to commit a crime, armed with a sharp kitchen knife. Mary Akinyi, one of Lucy Boke's best friends, is yet to come to terms with what happened to her best friend, who was to celebrate her birthday next week.
Wakitoka shule, huyo kijana alikuwa anamfuata kutoka nyuma, lakini si hatukuwa tunajua kitu anafuata. Wewe Lucy akamwambia, mimi sitaki kuongea na wewe, tulishaachana.
It is here where the suspect committed the macabre killing of Lucy Boke, and according to neighbors, that was the first time they were seeing him around, with the sole aim of committing the ghastly act. Everything in this room scattered. Stains of blood on the floor, an indication of a fierce fighting, before Boke was overpowered by her estranged boyfriend.
Wanafunzi wa CIT walikuja kwa vile huyo Lucy alikuwa anasoma CIT. Wakafika, wakaanza kubomoa mlango. Na askari walikuwa wameshaniambia wamefika hapo karibu. Kidogo wakaingisha mkono wakafungwa. Halafu wakapata Lucy amekufa, kijana amemfunika na suka ya Maasai.
Ndo huyo kijana aliachilia Lucy akataka kukuja kutudunga hiyo kisu, nikamwambia tufunge tu mlango, ndo watu wengine walikuja.
Detectives from Kisii Central Police Station combed the area and collected this kitchen knife that the suspect allegedly used to commit the murder.
There were key recoveries, actually, among them being a knife that you can see here. This is a very key weapon because it is believed to be the murder weapon because it had some blood stains.
The suspect is currently at Kisii Police Station. The police calling on the youth to handle their disputes in a better way.
I wanted to make an appeal to the members of public, especially our young people, that every time and any time they find that they have any conflict, they should not apply any violent means in resolving their conflict.
The body of the deceased is lying at Kisii Teaching and Referral Hospital, awaiting autopsy.
Police in Hamisi constituency, Vihiga County, are investigating an incident where a Form 4 student was stabbed to death over an alleged love triangle. Already 2 suspects have been arrested in connection with a retaliatory attack that has left several houses consumed by fire. Zacchaeus Mosame tells us more.
Property destroyed. The aftermath of an alleged love triangle and a slain Form 4 student who was set to sit for his KCSE next week. 9 houses were also set ablaze in Musudi village, Hamisi constituency in Vihiga County, by a group of young men who were avenging the death of the Form 4 student. According to residents, 2 boys attacked the deceased, one with a knife and stabbed him on the chest, killing him instantly. He said the slain student and another had quarreled over a girlfriend.
Yule alimwangusha chini, Bravin akakimbiza huu Duncan, akabaki na Guka. Guka ndio alitoa kisu kwa kiuno, akadunga naye Clinton left side kwa kifua.
Mambo ya ukosefu wa usalama unatokana kwa sababu ya ulegevu na uzembe wa watu ambao wanafaa washughulikie. Tuko very keen, tunajua hiyo sehemu kwa muda mrefu, hatuna assistant chief huko.
The killing prompted rowdy youth to respond angrily, torching houses belonging to the guards' relatives, as well as making away with valuables.
Rafiki yangu akabaki kama amemkunja, mimi nikakimbia niambie wazazi wake wamedunga Clinton. Nilikuja tu na nduru kutoka mahali alikuwa ameanguka.
Kwa hivyo sisi tunasema, na hili ninaliweka kwa waziri wa internal security, Bwana Kindiki. Sisi kama watu wa Shiru tunasema ndani ya wiki 2 kama hatutakuwa na assistant chief, mimi mwenyewe nitaandaa maandamano na tutademonstrate hadi tupewe assistant chief.
Hamisi Police Boss Ruth Lagat says no stone will be left unturned until all the culprits are brought to book.
These are recent incidents where a lady walked naked after separating with her fiancé in Mombasa, and 2 ladies fought because of a man at Nairobi CBD.
Squeezy binadamu na wagwaya, awawili walikuwa wanapendana, kushikana, wakichinjiana, nimona kwa news, walichinjana. Manze dunia inaenda wapi? Mandugu wanauana juu ya mali. Squeezy pesa thicker than blood. Beef ndani ya family ni bombo clutch. Story ya mabeste weka kando. Kwanza mabeste A1 karido. Mabeste yondo kikulacho. Twakuta beste yako ndi alikula bibi yako. Ndio maana miuka peke yangu tu. Kwa kona na pombe yangu tu. Story ya mbogi dunia bala. Squeezy ni kubad, bad, 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 bad. Manze so sad. Watu wengine ni mambwakni. Squeezy ni kubad, bad, 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 bad. Manze so sad. Watu wengine ni mambwakni.
Yeah. Oh, na 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 na. Oh, I love you, baby. Uko na tabia za kupendeza roho, tabasamu ya kupapasa macho, sauti yako nikisikia pia natulia, yani punguzi ya hasira nazo. Urembo wako ulininasa roho, siku ya kwanza kukuona kwa macho, sa moyoni umekwamia, siwezi kutania, njoo unipunguzie mawazo. And I feel you in my air when I breathe, I see you in my dreams when I sleep. You're the one I've been waiting for all my life. Deep down in my heart I believe unanifeel na kufeel ni real, the one I've been waiting for all my life. Uko sawa na wote malaika na mabawa yao, wote wanakuiga wendo mama yao, ni wewe nachagua, sisemi nao, sisemi. Oh baby, uko sawa na wote malaika na mabawa yao, wote wanakuiga wendo mama yao, ni wewe nachagua, sisemi. Oh sisemi, oh sisemi.
And this is how it all starts.
Sumtakusave na love emoji into your official name. PDA bila woga, your license ni bet. I'll buy some boxes you can share with me. wache kuvizi tuishi nami, kifungu kutole kopi usizubae kwa gate, vitungu tutone ngozi uchi ujionyeshe, si Valentines ni kweke akas pale kwa TV, lazima uolewe and it must be me, kesho yetu sifananishe na jana, lamina reli hazitoshani upana, uchumi mbaya but I'll spend my 2 days with you, leo wiko na guarantee, takwita wangu kabla uitwe na Maulana, you're my rose but I'll still give you your flowers, takupenda sahi na kasi sahi, ni sasa hivi, takwita wangu kabla uitwe na Maulana, you're my rose but I'll still give you your flowers, takupenda sahi na kasi sahi, ni sasa hivi, sasa hivi, sasa hivi, sasa hivi, takupenda sahi.
Ukipigana na dunia, I'll be fighting by your side. I'll carry your name, my love is strong enough. Niamini with your weaknesses, open up. I'm on your team, not against you. I'll cook your favorite meal, ukule ulambe sahani, yakimwagika tapanguza usijali, lazima nikuzalie watu wenu wanijue, hiyo neza guarantee, kesho yetu sifananishe na jana, lamina reli hazitoshani upana, uchumi mbaya but I'll spend my 2 days with you, leo iko na guarantee, takwita wangu kabla uitwe na Maulana, you're my rose but I still give you your flowers, nitakupenda sahi na kasi sahi, ni sasa hivi, takwita wangu kabla uitwe na Maulana, you're my rose but I still give you your flowers, nitakupenda sahi na kasi sahi, ni sasa hivi.
I'll give you your flowers.
Promises after promises, hoping a success after. But first, do love really exist? And what is love?
I don't believe in falling in love.
Okay.
You have to be intentional.
Okay.
I like
What
that.
were you doing on your falling? Did you trip?
Right.
You have to be very intentional. There's nothing like falling in love. No.
What do you mean?
I think it's, after social media, it is the second biggest lie of this generation.
Wait, you think falling in love is a lie?
I fell in love. Where were you walking then you fell? There's nothing like falling in love. It is just being intentional in being with somebody. Talk to our parents who have been married 40, 50, 60 years.
But then what's that feeling you get for someone special? It's not love. Wewe wacha.
You just felt baridi.
Uongo.
It's just that you're intentional. Our parents were together 50. Why do people separate here nowadays? People date on Monday, they leave each other on Wednesday. On Friday, they're with somebody else. It's because of that fake thing called love. You got to be intentional in being with somebody. You don't feel like you are in love with somebody every day. Married people will tell you, I don't feel like I'm in love with my wife today, but I have decided to be with her for the rest of my life. Just be intentional. There's this love feeling that people say, oh, you know, I just feel love. What do you mean? I just feel. What are you feeling? What is that feeling? You know when you shower with cold water and then you feel that thing? That is what I feel. And then when you leave the shower, that feeling goes.
Love is a choice. When I decide to love somebody and be with them and respect them and be loyal, it means that no matter how fluctuated my feelings are or what I'm going through, that I stand with that choice I make and I stick to my ground because it's a choice. And I understand that that person is exactly what I need. And therefore, I don't depend on my feelings or emotions. I'm depending on the choice I make. And think about it in this way. Like, you love your parents so much, but sometimes you want to kill them, right? It's because feelings go up and down. And you cannot take decisions based on your emotions. So, but sadly nowadays, people are loving based on their feelings and how they feel and their mood and all that. But love is just a choice. And the choices you make are a reflection of who you are as a person.
Well, for me, first off, is always God is love. And then when we take it from there, love is about kindness, compassion, patience, understanding, a willingness to be selfless and pour into that individual. But I think what's also important for people to understand is when we're trying to apply it to romantic relationships, we have to understand that there's other ingredients that are necessary before we can move forward. So you could love someone dearly, but if they are not emotionally ready, because maybe they haven't healed from their past, maybe there's still some things they need to work out in their life, then it wouldn't be time to move forward in a relationship with them. And we have this bad habit of the minute we feel like there's love there, we want to move forward.
Exactly.
And as you mentioned, we can get caught up sometimes in, well, we love them because of what they do for us, but what are you prepared to do for them? Love is about giving, all right? So we have to ask ourselves, okay, do we know what their needs are? Are we willing to fulfill those needs? Because if not, maybe this wasn't love. Maybe it just felt good in the moment. Maybe you got caught up in the hype, and that's okay. It happens to almost all of us, if not all of us, at some point in life. But we have to just be very clear with ourselves about what's really driving the intention right now. But I think all those things I mentioned is what encompasses love, and that's like the foundation of it. And then from there, we have to look at some other things to see how we can move forward.
And how does one know when he or she deeply loves someone, or if they're deeply loved?
To me, the first key is, do you truly love them? Because look at it like this. To me, a lot of people get caught up in infatuation. They have unhealthy attachments. They have different motivations to why they decided this is the person that I want. And that can make them feel like they're in love. But to me, true love flows both ways. It's not a one-sided thing. So when you can say, I'm not into them like that. If we look deep into that situation, I can almost guarantee what we'll find is infatuation, attachment, something else. But when you can say, no, I feel it too. I'm deeply in love with them. I think that's your first key. Because without that, nothing else matters. Because a lot of people are choosing partners based off of, well, they love me so much, so I assume it's safe here, and this is a good choice to make. But the safe choice is usually the wrong choice. And a lot of these people select this individual thinking everything's gonna be okay, but because you're not really into them, you can never be what they need. And they were never truly what you needed, which is why you never even got to that level with them. So to choose them without first evaluating, do you truly love them, would not be wise. Are you even being yourself, or can you be yourself with this individual? If you're presenting your representative, then this is not a real connection. This is them falling for that person that you're presenting, but that's not real. So to me, you should be already being yourself, but with that person you have a connection with, it's a more natural flow. We don't have to force it. We just feel so much more comfortable around them. I think in addition to that is, when you find yourself all caught up in the moment and caught up in that chemistry, again, you have to ask yourself, what am I really attaching myself to? What do I really like about this individual? What I find is that when it's really about chemistry, we're still on the surface. You don't really know about them yet. You just know you guys had a good time. Maybe you had fun at this event. You guys were able to talk about a lot of different things, which is great, which is gonna also be important if there is a connection. However, do you even know what kind of relationship they want? Do you know what kind of life they wanna live? You know, are you guys really on the same page? I think connection is our paths align, our purposes align. So for us to align, we have to have a deeper understanding of where we're headed, and can we head there together? So that's why I think, though you may feel it, or you may feel like you're feeling it, you have to do your due diligence to dig deeper to find out, okay, is this just I got caught up on the surface, or there is something real here?
Yeah.
And I think once we ask enough questions, because I think that's the other big problem. We have this experience where we feel this chemistry, we're so excited, And now we're afraid to ask questions because we don't want to blow up the fantasy.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
We're just like,
yes.
no, I want to keep believing this is great. So let me not ask anything. Let me not run this person away. Let me not rock the boat. But that's going to be what tells us if this is real or not.
Now, they say setting boundaries at the beginning of a relationship is so crucial. Why so?
It sends a message. Hey, this is the way I do my thing. You'd rather know early enough. If you cannot deal with it, let's not waste each other's time.
Yes.
It's also a way of announcing your values, your beliefs, your deal breakers. But imagine within 2 dates of dating a man, you're there just there tapping his behind. Honey, see you tomorrow.
Go on and have a productive day.
You know what I'm saying? Tomorrow he'll be tapping you back.
Yes.
And then you'll feel disrespected.
Yes.
I said, hey, take it slow. You understand? Calling at night and you're both breathing so hard down the phone. Like, no. Let's get to know each other deeper. Let's connect deeper mentally. Let's have mental orgasms with our conversation. So if you don't set boundaries, anything goes. And when anything goes, damage is inevitable. You know, it's like driving a car. When you feel that it's too fast, you start applying the brakes. When you apply the brakes, you start reducing the gear. You know, let's take it slow because there's a corner. We have to reduce the speed. You can't just be going every date you're in the bedroom. You're playing with fire. If somebody walks away from you because of your value system, you are not the loser, but you're the winner. You've actually dodged the bullet. If the people who overtake you, they overtake you because they're sleeping around. Just know you keep your honor. And you should not worry about time moving. You've told me not to call you sir because you're a young person. Well, I'm in my 40s. I'm not yet married. I'm not worried about time. You shouldn't be. You'd rather take your time but get the right person other than rushing and getting into a crush.
And what are the pillars of a relationship?
One more time.
It is, so the 5 pillars of a relationship is friendship, love, honesty, loyalty, and respect. Now, what is the weakest pillars out of these 5? Love. Love goes up and down. One day you're in love, one day you're down, one day you're okay, one day you're not. We operate on emotions, right? But if one of the other 4 pillars is missing, a relationship won't work. So I'm looking for a partner, a man that is willing to have a friendship, not just a relationship, a friendship. I want to be his best friend. I want him to be my best friend. I need a man that's honest. I need a man that's loyal. I need a man that's respectful. I need a man that's ambitious. I need a man that's kind and empathetic, because I've been with a lot of men who had zero empathy. They're narcissists, right? But I'm full of empathy. I sit with people are like, what is your dream? What do you want to do?
Is there a guarantee that a relationship will last forever?
You don't. There's no test, there's no gauge, there's no formula that can predict whether someone stays in your life forever. You can look and see if your zodiac signs are compatible. You can compare love languages. You can sign marriage licenses and say your vows in front of 100 people. You can get matching tattoos. You can cross pinkies. You can make pact after pact after pact. But none of this can truly guarantee that a relationship will last. But you can hope it does. You can hope they stay. You can hope you want to stick around too. Because if you really think about it, love is simply a commitment to continue hoping, to continue doing your best, to continue forgiving, to continue laughing, to continue staying. So yes, nothing is certain. And sometimes this fact really hurts. But forever shouldn't be the goal of loving anyway. It should be just to love.
What are some of the mistakes people do when it comes to falling in love?
I think we think of love as so many different things wrapped into one. For example, I could think I love someone because of how they treat me. I could think I love someone because they have one quality that I really wish I had. Or I could love someone because I think that they're out of my league and they give me a bit of attention.
Man is a hunter, and I want every woman to understand this. A man is a hunter. I love watching National Geographic. And you see an animal that has seen the prey. It enjoys it after the chase.
Yeah.
But you can't meet a man on the club. Twerk 1, 2, 3, and then you are in the bed. You understand?
Right.
You can't.
True. Yeah.
The moment you do that to a man, what the man says after he's done with you is, if I got it this easy, somebody else will get it this easy.
Wow.
So this one is not wife material. This is bedroom gymnastics material. And for the women, you meet a man and you're just excited about his six-pack, his strongholds. You understand?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I like how you look. That's all you're saying. A man wants to be treated as a king, not to be overpraised, but a man wants a woman who will see some things that other people cannot see. That, oh my goodness, I love the way you think. Have you thought about doing your own business? I love the way you talk. I love the fact that you're a reader. If you keep on telling the man how good he is in strokes, another woman will say, you know what? The way you think, the way you read, I see a governor in 5 years.
Yeah.
I see a CEO in 3 years. Have you thought about doing your masters?
Yeah.
You were talking about the strokes.
Yeah.
I'll be your cowgirl.
Right.
You cowgirl all you want. You understand? All you're doing is making sure your waist is not very active.
Right.
Or is very active for that matter. But there's some other woman who is giving him mental orgasms.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that makes a man feel that with this woman besides me, I can conquer.
Yes.
You don't want to, I mean, let me tell you something, young lady. You praise his strokes. Maybe there's somebody who praises his strokes more than you.
Yeah.
So please, give something different.
Yeah.
And even for the ladies, and I want the men to understand this, ladies are not visual.
Yeah, I agree.
In fact, I tell young men, stop wearing tight trousers walking around in town like you have an itch. I mean, you're not exciting the women.
Right.
The women want to be stimulated mentally.
Yes.
And that's why I've said this time and time again. A woman wants a man with a vision and not a television. Oh, your hips don't lie.
Yeah.
Well, when she gets to 50,
Yes, what
my
happens
brother,
then?
my sister, they will not just lie. They'll be lying to you every day, morning, noon, and evening. You understand what I'm saying? Oh, I love you because of your small waist.
Yes.
3 children later.
Yes.
Where's the waist gone?
It's gone.
Yeah. Oh, this
gone,
man,
gone.
you used to have a 6-pack when we met in the gym.
Yes.
Now it's 1.5 pack. You understand what I'm saying? Oh, you used to make me feel zing in the bedroom.
Yes.
Now the man is snoring after 3 seconds. You got to be friends. When you go to an expensive shop, it's either you buy the shoe or you don't. If you go to some funny shops, you're allowed to try the shoe, remove, try, remove. Another man comes, tries, and removes. You know, but when you go to another shop, they say, no. We know our product.
Right.
Are you size, you're size 43?
Yes.
Yes, this is 43. Take it and go.
Right.
But now when you go and you're trying, I don't like it. So somebody's feet has been there. He didn't shower very well. He removes. Another person comes in, tries again. Another person comes in, tries again. That's exactly what is happening.
Right.
An identity crisis.
Yeah.
Wow.
But even for some men, they want to sleep around to get acceptance.
Ah, okay. Can you talk about that
It's
a
not
little
just
bit
about
more?
ladies. You know, some men who say, oh, this guy is losing sleeping around. As a counselor, don't join the chorus of saying he's sleeping around. He's an immoral person.
Right.
Some are, of course. Some just no value system. But some are searching for something.
Right.
And I'm going to say this, and I'm sure
You
men are
mean
listening.
men go through that? I thought it's only just women.
Humans go through that.
Yeah.
That is why you hear somebody saying, oh, tell me I'm the best.
Ah, right.
Yes.
Yes.
Tell me there's nobody like me.
Yes. Because if you feel that you are exceptional at what we say reading the Constitution,
Yes.
then you shouldn't have to ask for feedback.
Yes.
Right?
So tell me, who's your daddy?
Right.
Wafula, you're the daddy.
So scared of losing someone that we're okay with not asking important questions and discovering important truths that actually define whether this relationship's going to last.
Absolutely.
And that is ultimately you not being yourself, right? You're losing yourself, scared that you're going to lose the other person, so you're okay with not being yourself. Most people are not adept at knowing whether the connection they feel with someone is deeper or physical.
Yeah.
Like I would say that it's easy to, you can often feel a spark if you meet a lot of people, you can feel a spark with a lot of people, but that doesn't mean that they're the right person to build a relationship with, right? Like,
yes.
So many people fall in love too fast, and no one wants to go for the slow, patient, understanding love, which is what love requires. You just said love is kind, love is patient, love is understanding. Those things take time.
However, I think that I'm a huge believer in connection. And I believe connection is like your spirit recognizing its match. And it's very instant. When you speak to couples who said they experience a connection, they'll tell you first conversation, first time meeting, first date, first week, it was pretty fast. So to me, the recognizing of something deeper being here can happen very quickly. But how we now cultivate that and how we move forward is where we need to take our time and make sure we're not rushing and overlooking certain important issues that need to be discussed and addressed first.
G. Shetty says a person undergoes several phases when in love.
When you start dating someone, what you're actually experiencing is excitement and stress. And that together is what feels like chemistry. So the excitement is, oh my God, am I going to get their number? Am I going to get their number? And then when you get their number, it's like, are they going to reply to my message? Right? It's the stress. The excitement is, oh my gosh, what do I say to them? What do I say to them? And now the stress is, wait, they haven't replied for 3 hours, right? And that excitement and that stress, it creates this energy that's really enthralling for the mind, brain, and body. And we get really sucked in. I was looking at the research behind this and it really blew my mind. Now what happens is once you've been with someone for 1 year, for 3 years, for 5 years, for 10 years, for 15 years, the stress goes down, which means the excitement starts to subside, and now you experience something called comfort. Now seeing that person does not stress you out anymore. Now them seeing you first thing in the morning doesn't stress them out anymore. So what's happening is that we no longer see new sides or new parts of this same person.
And how can one know the relationship is worth saving, or it's time to let it go?
Shall I stay or shall I go is one of the fundamental questions. Even if you decide to stay or even if they decide to go, you may do so while at the same time having a part of you that actually holds the other side. If you think that the decision is 100% perfect, no doubt, no hesitation, then it's a setup. If you leave, you need to be able to leave while experiencing the loss of some things that may have been good, even if it's just a dream of what was. If you stay, you have to be able to grieve the part of you that will never know what it would have been like if you actually left. So the answer is not in the extreme determination, it's in the ability to hold the inherent contradictions. It's a complex question, and complex questions don't have easy binary answers.
Man is only exciting your flesh.
Right.
Talking about how sexy your lips are.
Mhm.
And I'm not saying men should not compliment, but if that is the be all and end all, you're an object.
I see.
And what happens when he sees better hips? When you go into a relationship, there's some things you need to look at. Number one, if you're dating a divorced person, please interrogate the situation deeply. If you're dating a divorced person and all they talk about are the ills and the mistake of the ex, and it's not about them. Oh, she did this, he did this, and there's nothing. Oh, he was a victim, or she was a victim. Run away. You're dealing with a dangerous person.
Why do you say that?
Anytime there's a divorce, two people have made the mistake.
Right.
Yes. It's never one-sided. All right? One may take 60%, another 40%. But divorce is not caused by somebody's 99% mistakes or inability to work in the relationship.
Right.
So divorced people, interrogate them further. Number two, mama's boy. Any small issue, or let me call mom.
Right.
Or when the mom is not getting the son, I'm looking for my son. Is he okay? Have you cooked for him well? I'm wondering where he is. It's okay once in a while.
Yeah.
Can't be all the time. Yeah. You've got to be extremely careful.
Right.
Number 3, when you're dating somebody, look at how they behave when you're in public in the presence of the opposite sex.
Okay.
Number 1, you're a man and you're dating this woman, and you go for a cocktail, and she's there getting excited when she sees men, smiling and, oh goodness, hi. It's like a presidential candidate looking for votes. And she's just getting excited.
You gotta put on a shirt.
Yeah, you know.
Hey, Robert, maybe she's famous. Maybe she's just saying, hey.
Let me go deeper with that. And for a man as well, he's just there salivating at every woman who is passing by. You know what happens? It doesn't matter if you're famous or not. There's when you have your time. Let your woman feel that, you know what, I'm proud of you. Let your man feel, yes, there are 50 other men here, but you are the king, you're the Don Corleone, you're the macaroni in the cheese.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
So that makes us as men feel good. Every man, powerful, educated, rich, poor, we have one thing in common: the ego. Huge as an elephant, fragile as an egg.
Yeah.
Make the man feel like a king, the man is going nowhere. Make the woman feel protected, you have a keeper.
Yeah. I agree.
I think society needs to change their thinking as far as letting go doesn't always mean it can't work out later. It's just that it cannot work out under these circumstances, all right? Because some people say, well, I feel like they're the one. Okay, maybe they are, but maybe the time is not right. And it's letting go that will allow you both to do what needs to be done in your own personal lives, that will allow you to come back together and have something way more amazing. So that's number 1 thing to consider. But outside of that, it's when, if that person is unwilling to put in the work necessary, it's time to go. There's like so many times I'll have a video go up about communication, and someone will comment saying, I've tried talking to him and he doesn't want to talk to me. And in my head, I'm like, well, why are you still with them? If he refuses to talk to you, you've already tried. There's nothing else to do. But people will let it linger on and continue while they consistently complain or unhappy about this specific issue. It's not gonna magically get better. They're not gonna just change it just because all of a sudden they see, oh, it needs to change. No, if they're fighting it now, they have no reason to change it. And what people have to understand, especially with this whole trying to fix people up, healing and facing your traumas is one of the hardest things for people to do. So if they already have you in their life, they're essentially getting the incentive or the benefit of relationship without having to do the deeper work. So to me, again, I think it always starts with self. And you have to be honest with yourself about, why are you still here? Why are you holding on? What's really driving you? Because, just use an example, let's say you're a woman and the only reason why you're holding on to this guy is because he's a nice guy. You don't feel like starting the process over with somebody else. So even though you're not feeling it with him, you figure, let me try to make it work. You're wasting your time. This is where you're setting yourself up for disaster every single time. So if it's not born out of a true connection, love, a genuine desire, you really like this individual, of course, there's always things we have to work through, but is the foundation strong enough for us to say, okay, we can make something special here? And I think once we are honest with ourselves, that kind of helps answer the question, because sometimes we get so caught up trying to analyze the other individual that it's like we get in our heads and now we're missing the mark on what's really important here. And we can't always say for sure what's going on with them. I will say that in general, if this person isn't willing to talk about things, they're wasting your time. If they're not willing to address or correct things that have been talked about, they're wasting your time. If you guys aren't on the same page about what you want and where you want to go in life, wasting time. So there are some things I think we can just look at and say, listen, this is pointless here. But a lot of times, and I have to say this, especially for women, women's intuition is extremely powerful. I'm a huge believer in it. And I feel like women know very early, this isn't it. But they rationalize reasons to convince themselves to give this man a chance. And this, again, is a waste of time because it just doesn't work. I've seen people turn what should have been maybe a couple weeks of dating into years of being married to someone they were not happy with. all because they did not listen to themselves from the beginning. They knew what it was, but they just could not accept it for what it was. Because it's very tough to walk down the path of the healing process. So if they're not willing to work on it, you guys have already discussed it. And I think that's a big thing, because there's a lot of relationships that end and the couples don't even know what the real issue was. So the communication, they'll say, well, we talked about, no, you guys argued. You guys lashed out. There wasn't a clear communication as to what the problem was, what is expected, how do we go about this? If you've done that, and I believe one of the most effective ways to do that is through a letter. Because I feel like verbal communication of deep issues and concerns, they typically don't go well. You know, people get distracted, they forget what they want to say, the other person gets defensive, they're listening to rebuttal, not to understand. But when there's a letter involved, it gives you time to get everything out. You can evaluate your tone, leave no stone unturned, and now they have an opportunity to process it on their time, to really take it in, and then you guys can come together and discuss the letter. And now it's so much easier to stay on point and get everything covered. If we've done that and they're still unwilling or there's still no progress, it's time to go.
When there's physical abuse, you need to leave that relationship. And especially they do it once and then they apologize, they do it a second time and third time. That is a time to jump out of that relationship. And by the way, there's abuse on both sides. You know, when people talk about abuse, you think it's only a man abusing a woman physically. So when there's abuse, it's time to jump up. Physical abuse, emotional abuse can also be very, very dangerous. And besides that, when there is no purpose, there is no oneness in vision and purpose, there's nowhere you're going. When two walk together, don't agree, I'm telling you, you're going to frustrate each other. So those are the times to jump out of a relationship. When somebody pushes you to do things that are outside your comfort zone, to try and take you to bed and you want to wait until the right time, please run away from that relationship.
I don't think that you have to love one person for the rest of your life. I don't think someone should be forced to believe that's the only way life works. Especially because some people dedicate their life to someone, then that person leaves them, whether naturally or unnaturally. Someone leaves them because there's infidelity or whatever there may be. And the point is that you can't force someone to say there is only one person. And I think often the institutions of the world, marriage and religion often kind of enforced people to believe that, well, you got married at 21, you got to be with this person for the rest of your life. You can't make something last if only one person's working on it. You can't keep hoping and waiting and wishing and like you said, that ending doesn't mean forever. And often I've found that two people need to grow individually to be able to grow collectively. And we're forcing growing together so hard, but we need space to grow. And if you can't grow together, chances are you need to grow apart in order to see whether you grow together again or grow for someone else. And all of those options are okay, but we put so much pressure on people to grow together that they grow apart.
Yeah.
And actually, if they chose to grow apart and grow separately, they could come back together if they learn the lessons. And I think that's a mistake too, that sometimes people think, I'm gonna go learn this lesson for this person. Yeah. I meet a lot of people that are like, okay, they broke up with me because I wasn't XYZ, now I'm gonna go become XYZ to win them back.
Yeah.
And I always find I'm just like, well, no, you should go become XYZ if you think you were missing XYZ, but not to win them back because you don't know what they're gonna do.
Number one, what do I need to work on within myself?
Right.
Oh God, give me a queen. Or you're behaving like a wathak. Oh God, give me a king.
Yes.
But you're in every club twerking.
Right.
Smoking shisha and releasing things on your smoke like a Subaru.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
And you want God to give you a man who has a mission and a vision.
Yes.
A man who is starting companies here, left, right, and center.
Yeah.
And what are you doing?
Right.
You are twerking like nobody's business.
Right.
You're actually the chief twerker in East and Central Africa.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So
head of the committee.
You know? So develop yourself.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
When you're single, take advantage of that time.
Okay.
Don't cry like, where are the men? I'm feeling cold and all that. First and foremost, have you ever been to a hospital and you see somebody in a drip and medicine and all machines and you're told this one is dying for lack of sex? No. So it's okay.
It's not going to go anywhere.
No. It's okay to be single.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So develop yourself, read books, go look for a life coach. All right? Look for an intimacy coach. Until, intimacy, intimacy, until you see yourself on the inside. Because identity is an inside job.
Yes.
And that identity, you need to find it while you're alone. Because when you try to find your identity in the presence or while you're dating somebody else, it will be skewed towards what the person you're dating thinks you should be. So how many times are you going to change yourself? What happens if you break up for 2 months and then date another person? Your identity will keep on changing like a chameleon. Find it yourself. Read books. Take yourself out. Get to meet people. Heal yourself. If there's any bitterness from the past, release it. By the time you're meeting somebody, you know what? I know the statement people say, I can do bad by myself. Get to a place that you can say that. And then say, but I don't want to do bad by myself. I want to meet somebody. But not for them to complete me.
The first thing is to ask yourself again, why was I even there? Why am I holding on to this individual? Again, I think sometimes we get so blinded by just the experience or our desire to have this person for whatever reason that we overlook what was really missing or why this could not work anyway. What you'll also find is, and I'm sure there's probably a study on it, where if they broke up with you ever see a situation, it happens on TV a lot, where the person could be like, okay, I'm gonna break up with my partner. They're planning on it. They've been practicing in their head, right? It took them a couple of weeks to muster up the strength. They're about to do it, and then the partner breaks up with them.
Yeah.
Now it's, oh my gosh, I gotta get them back.
Yeah.
So it's like, you just forgot this whole time that was your plan.
Yeah.
They just gave you the pass to do it, but now, because we don't like to be the one being let go of, now we're fighting hard to get it back.
Yeah.
So we have to really not fall into these little traps that happen to us as human beings. Our brains just playing tricks on us or something, where we confuse these emotions for, oh my gosh, I must really love them. Or even like you said, you go into that detox, and because you miss, I always tell people, no matter how bad the relationship was, there's always good moments. So if you're trying to break free, you can't just let your brain focus on the good moments. You have to remind yourself why this doesn't work. But if you keep focusing on the good, you start to make yourself think, oh, because I missed this good moment, I must miss them. And there's this quote that says, sometimes you're not missing the person, you're missing the feeling. So you've got to be able to differentiate those two things. So getting back to how we get over these breakups is recognizing, why were we really there to begin with? Could this actually work? The next thing is, I'm a huge believer that a lot of times a breakup is a blessing in disguise. Even if there is a chance that you two can work together, or this is the one for you, you may have needed this time to reevaluate and get things in order. Something is obviously wrong. Even if it may be something as deep as, because I've seen situations where everything was going amazingly well on the surface, and the person broke up with them. Let's say the woman lets go of the man. So to the man, that's really confusing. But what it was is that woman, she had not healed from her past relationships, and this relationship being so good was scaring her. And what happens is, the better you are, the scarier it becomes for her. She's looking for something to be wrong. She has to validate her fear somehow. When she can't find it, she'll either sabotage the relationship or she'll run from it. So to that man, it may seem like this is so unfair, which it sucks. But if this woman didn't break up with you now, you were inevitably gonna face this same ending, but at a worse time. All right? This is still best that it's happening now. At least if she can go do what she needs to do, there's a chance for this to come back around later. But it's hard for us to see it in the moment. So I think just really, we also have to focus on our healing. Whenever a breakup happens, the mistake we make is that we think it's about healing from the breakup. No, it's healing from everything you've been through. You've probably been sweeping under the rug your childhood trauma for years, maybe the last 2-3 relationships, whatever it is. So, and not healing from those things is contributing to your struggle to get past this breakup and contributing to why you even chose this person to begin with. I'm a huge believer that if you haven't healed, you are 90% likely to choose the wrong person.
Yeah.
It's just too difficult to pick that person that you truly love and can truly love you and accept that level of vulnerability when you have still not resolved your past traumas and past hurts.
Yeah.
So to me, that's the next big thing, is just focus on your healing process, because in that process, you will also be able to see more clearly if this is really for you or not. Like, walking around unhealed is like walking around with broken glasses. You can't see straight, no matter how hard you try. But healing will clear up your vision really, really fast. And now it'll be like, oh, wait a minute, I didn't belong there.
Yeah.
You know, thank God the breakup happened. You know, now I'm in a better place, I move forward. So to me, I think, and I would say in addition to those things, is just have an accountability partner. Whether that's friend, coach, therapist, someone that can help keep you in check, help remind you what you need to do, someone that you know you have to talk to and update what's going on so that you feel like, okay, I don't want to come back to them saying I'm doing the same thing over and over again. It doesn't guarantee success, but it helps. It helps move the needle some. So I would highly encourage that.
All in all, we all end up in a romantic relationship for the purpose of forming a family. What should we then consider when selecting a person to build a life with?
There's a difference between the person you can fall in love with and the person you can build a life with. And sometimes you can be madly in love with somebody who just isn't going to be a life partner. You're just not going to build a life together. And there's other people that you can definitely build a life together, but you might not have that chemistry and connection. I do think that there needs to be a difference between who you fall in love with and who you can build a life with. And you need to bear in mind who you love might not be who you can build a life with, and you do need to be certain that you can build a life with each other, because that's more indicative of whether you're going to last. The love itself is a really essential but insignificant trait in marriages. What's actually more important, what they find is bigger in keeping a marriage together rather than love, is friendship. They find if you have a friendship with your partner, and with friendships, what ends up happening is you can still enjoy each other, even if you're not madly in love, and you still respect each other. Because with your friends, you don't abuse them, you don't throw things at them, you don't call them out, you don't call them names, you still are amicable. Whereas people who are madly in love but have no friendship and they have no lifestyle, it's just based on heat and passion. Based on passion and chemistry is not connection.
Is that the person you marry must be your friend.
Right. Must be your friend.
Before your lover. Before the handsome, beautiful woman. Because there's a man more handsome than your man out there. There's a woman more beautiful than your woman out there. But friendship, when there's a disagreement, you don't want your friend to be annoyed for too long.
Yeah.
You don't want to hurt your friend for too long. So honey, come, let's reason together. When you marry your friend, you'll go through the highs and the lows with your friend. When you marry in purpose, in fact, anybody who marries because of love primarily is lost. It's purpose. Purpose brought us together. You know, when we are two of us, there are some great things we are doing. We have children's homes all over the place because we are a force to reckon with. I've seen you playing with your nephews and nieces. You have this thing about children. For you as a man, you just thought, oh, these are my nephews and nieces. But the woman sees something different and says, then you have a thing for young children. Have you ever thought about a children's home? And then she tells you, I'm in the corporate world. Can I do your proposal?
My advice to you is an advice that I've received from one of my best friends. She was sitting down and I told her, Mona, now that you're married, what is the secret? And she gave me a piece of advice. I remember that day we were sitting at an event. I was quiet for the whole night because my mind was processing what she told me. She told me, don't look for a firecracker, look for a fireplace. She just left. She just passed me. She's like, hey, baby, don't look for a firecracker, look for a fireplace. And she just left. But she left me with a message that like screwed my mind completely. And it's so true. We always look for these men that give us butterflies. And I go crazy when I see him, explosive and all that. But that's exactly what you should be avoiding. Look for the fireplace. Look for the man that makes you feel like you're home. You're warm, you're calm. There might not be firecrackers or butterflies, but he is home to you.
The right partner is like your fingerprint. Somebody who connects you in a deeper level, levels that which you cannot even explain. Of course, there are those fundamentals. You should not be dating somebody who is sleeping around. You can't be dating somebody who is talking down on you. You can't date somebody who is physically abusive towards you. But there's something that you got to understand. when somebody captures you in a higher level than in the physical realm, I just feel you.
Yeah.
There's a couple that told me, the lady says, when you're having dinner with friends, when my husband looks up and just gives another look, I know he wants the salt.
Wow.
You cannot teach that anywhere.
Yeah, that's so true.
You can't teach that anywhere.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you understand each other's languages.
That's so true.
You connect physically, spiritually, and mentally. You understand?
Yeah.
That you can even have. Can you sit and have conversations without thinking about sex? Can you sit and watch news and you're still okay?
Yeah.
Can you sit at a place and you're not talking to each other? You're reading, she's reading, but you just love each other's company.
Yeah.
You understand? Yeah. And not like, you know what, let's go to the bedroom kind of thing. Let me touch you, you know what I'm saying? So you got to understand, you have to, once you capture that person, and that right partner is the one who accepts you with your strengths and your weaknesses, is not intimidated with your strengths, wants you to grow in your strengths, will not use your weaknesses against you, but will want to help you dilute your weaknesses. Be careful not to involve too many outsiders in your union.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Not every friend who came and ate rice on your wedding day, danced with you, were in the committee of your wedding, are actually happy that you got married.
Yeah.
Okay. And the biggest mistake people make is that when there's an issue, you run to people.
Yeah.
So even I tell people, while you're courting or dating, the number one thing you need to look at is how they react to what people say.
Right.
Are you the kind of person who, when there's a small disagreement, you are running to other people on the outside without first trying to sort and exhaust everything you can do, the two of you?
Yeah.
If you are dating somebody who runs on social media, puts up a post giving other names, but you know very well
Who they're
talking about you.
Yes.
You can be sure your right leg is on a banana peel and your left leg is on a slippery floor.
Oh, goodness.
That relationship will go nowhere. She may be as beautiful or he may be as handsome, but let me tell you, there's some things that matter more in a relationship, especially when you get married.
Yeah.
So number one is look at how they react when there's a disagreement.
Right.
Because there will be a lot of disagreements in marriages. There are two people. I mean, I'm not a spring chicken. I'm not too old, but you can imagine I'm stuck in my ways.
Yeah.
And I may go into a relationship and I like things being done this way, and then I date somebody else who likes things being done the other way. So there'll be some friction.
Yes.
But how do we handle the friction?
Yeah.
And how do we tell if the intentions are genuine?
Conversations.
Okay.
Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth will speak.
Okay.
Right? 60% of your conversations, are they just to excite your flesh? All right?
Wow.
If that is the case, put your feet on your shoulders and run. Is he willing to tell you about his short-term, mid-term, and long-term plans?
Right.
I will speak to you about my long-term plans because I see you in my long-term.
Even at the beginning.
I mean, you can tell.
Yeah.
First and foremost, in the beginning, it's about sex. Run.
Of course.
You know?
Definitely.
Yeah. Then a few dates later, it's just exciting your flesh. Oh, phone calls, booty calls at night. Hello, baby. You know, he's in the church, he sings in soprano, but at night he's bass. You know, just trying to excite you and all that. You understand what I'm saying? The man calls you just breathing. You know?
He sounds like Barry White.
You understand?
Yeah.
I mean, show me something more. Let me work with something more.
Yeah.
Is he concerned about your family? Is he willing or is she willing to let you in his or her space?
Right.
You understand? Not to talk about the past too much, but let somebody know where you've come from.
Yeah.
Give somebody full disclosure so that they don't get surprised 3-4 years down the line.
Yes.
And that's how people have become bitter. You didn't tell me this when you were dating. There's some don't talk about your exes like you know too much. That breaks people, can make people run. But listen to what the man is saying. Is he concerned about your career, your education, your family? Is he interested in knowing things about your family? Or is he telling you about his family? When you know a person is talking about those things, then you know you're okay.
Over the Samuel, bond of love.